screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am. Thank you. So here we are with the Kamakhya Temple, where she is the Shakti, or Ma Kamakhya resides there. It's a belief. So it's in the Kamrup district, and the location is in Kamakhya. So the title of today's session is The Sacred Abode of Shakti, basically where Ma Kamakhya or the Shakti lives. So the picture that you are seeing is of the temple itself. The learning outcome of the session will be like the historical context. Then we will be knowing some mythological context, because this is one temple, I think in Assam mainly, apart from the other temple that we have, is connected with so many stories, with some practices also that we will see today. We also will look into the architectural feature of the temple and the cultural context, legends associated with this temple. Let's start with the historical context. And here are some visual image that you see in the structure. In the body of the outer structure, you see this kind of sculpture, engraved sculpture. And this Lal Ganesh, actually it was also made up of stone, but people have put sindoor and started worshipping or praying in the outside body only. So that's what you are seeing in the image. So Ma Kamakhya Temple was built by many people actually. There is a whole history, who built, when built, and there is also mythology related, and the rulers who ruled Assam have also contributed in the construction process. It was built and it was rebuilt, because many times it got destructed by many influences also. So this temple is situated in Nilachal Parvat or hill in Guwahati. So the Nilachal is a hill. Yesterday, as we have seen, the Vashishta Mandir or the temple is situated in another hill, which is Sandhyachal. So this is just the opposite side of the city Guwahati, and it is located in the Nilachal hill. It is dedicated to goddess Kamakhya, or Shakti Peetha, known as one of the Shakti Peetha out of the 51 that we have. And the main purpose of the temple, or the temple that is associated with the feminine power, Shakti, Shaktism, and some tantric practices also. And one of the famous festival that goes around in the month of June, tentatively, is Ambabuchi Mela, which is a very, you can say, spiritual festival that goes around. So the reference of Ma Kamakhya we find in many of the ancient texts like the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Puran, in tantric texts also, and in Kalika Puran also. So, but though the temple is mentioned, but the place of origin, like it is not written as Guwahati. It is written in the old name of Guwahati, which is Pragjotishpur. Guwahati also have another name. Sometimes it is also said as Kamrup or Kamrupa, because that is the region of the district of Guwahati. And Guwahati got its name later. Initially, it was Pragjotishpur, as I said. Guwahati name came later in the 7th or 9th century tentatively. And it also have a greater meaning, like Goa, the first three words like Goa means betel nut. And Hati means hut or market or bazaar. So Guwahati now also is very famous for palm leaves or betel leaves and betel nuts. That's how the name have come up. Maybe the local people were frequently using these terms and it just intertwined with the actual name. So coming back to the temple references, we have seen some references in Mahabharata, that is in one of the epics we have, that the Pandavas have worship in this temple after they again regain their kingdom, like while they was ruling. Next references we get in Kalikapura, and this is the story that is well connected with the temple. It describes, of course, we know that there are 51 Shakti Peeths and Kamakhya to be one. Here, the part of Sati that fall and it became the temple was the Yoni part. So it is also known as Yoni Peeth. With this, the story of Narkasur, one of the Asur, is also related. And in Kalika Puran, the story of Sati, the wife of Shiva, how she got married and what had happened, all those descriptions are there. About the construction of the temple, as I told, this temple is not constructed by a single person or ruler or god or any asura. Multiple people or multiple rulers are involved. Initially, it was built by Kamdev. Now we know Kamdev in our Hindu religion to be the god of love or something like that, right? He also have a wife named Sati. So we will know the story in the later slides. I'll come up. So now we are here in the story of the temple building or the construction, how it got constructed. So there is a saying that Kamdev built the temple with the help of Lord Brahma and Vishwakarma, the chief architect of all the gods. And when this temple was built, it was not in the form that we see today. It was initially in a very small cave. So it was not said as Kamakhya Temple also at that time. Rather, it was named or it was referred to as Anandakiya. Sometimes we also find some sources where this temple is known as Manubab Guha, like cave. Then we also see that this temple, after the Narakasur thing, the Koch dynasty people from Kuch Bihar of Bengal, like the king Naranarayan and his son Vishwasingha, have also helped in the construction when the temple was destructed in between. And later by the Ahom kings. So the temple that we are seeing, the present structure, is actually the finished thing that is done by the Ahom king. And that too, lastly, in 1565. So the Koch king, Vishwasingh, rebuilt the temple after it was destructed or something happened, like rebuilding only, because we exactly don't know what had happened to the temple after it was built by maybe Narkasur or Kamdev. We don't know actually. So he rebuilt it, and that happened during the period 1550 to 1580. And he have given brick and gold to the temple in the making process so that that can be used in the making process. But unluckily, that temple again got tempered or destructed or something happened again by Here is a mention of a person that someone destructed, and again the son of Vishwasingh, King Naranarayan. He came into the play. So he again rebuilt it. Now the story goes like that this yoni of Shakti have fallen in this hill, Nilachal hill. And that's how the hill, entire hill got its name. Like there is a belief that when this sexual organ of Sati have fallen on the mountain have turned blue, dark blue or in blackish blue. That's how the name Nilachal have come up. These are some of the images that you are looking in my screen is in the body or the structure of the temple outside. Now, this is known as Yoni Kund, but this I am just referring as a reference. This is actually not the real image, but somehow it looks similar to this, almost similar you can say, but not, this one is not the true image because photography is totally banned there. We can't do any photography. So nobody actually have the actual image of this Garbhagriha's actual thing. Now we will be talking about the mythological context. So before I go into the next section, that is the mythology, can anyone unmute and tell me that what do you know about this temple? Apart from what I said, like that is a common thing. It is one of the Shakti Peeth, right? Apart from that, any story that you can connect with this temple, you are aware by, you have heard of from anyone.
That once in a year, menstruation is celebrated, I heard, as a festival.
What is celebrated, ma'am?
Our menstruation is celebrated as festival.
Yes, okay. That is one thing. Anyone else? No?
This is known for Yoni Puja.
Yeah, of course, because the Peeth is famous for that. So tantric and Shaktism, all these kind of practices are there.
Okay.
So I'm just asking any story in the building process or anything that you are aware of.
No, I am not.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. So here we go. The story of the origin, how it happened. Everyone, I know most of the people are aware of the story, what had happened, right? Like Shati was the wife of Lord Shiva, and her father Daksh didn't like Lord Shiva, which Shati felt very bad about it. And on the day on which every god was invited for a very auspicious yagna over there, her husband was not invited because it was Lord Shiva. So she felt very bad, and due to that, she has just given her ahuti, you can say, or she just immense in that yogna, which is a very powerful statement of a power of feminism. So this is one story, and then when when the news went to Lord Shiva, he held the body of Sati and was dancing in a very ferocious dance that we say the tandavs. So everything was shaking. The entire universe was shaking. And all the gods were scared of that, what will happen next. So Lord Vishnu was given the opportunity to make this thing okay, the situation to deal with, like. So he, with his Sudarshan Chakra, has disintegrated the body of Sati, and the places that the pieces fall off became the Shakti Peetha. So that is the one story. But connected with this story, so after this, what happened? After this is the Kamdev sacrifice. Now, how that is related? Like, after the incident happened, Shati is no more. So Lord Shiva goes into a deep meditation. So when he went to a very deep meditation, again the entire universe started to sink off, was dying basically. So people, especially the gods, started to talk how again this can be made okay or perfect, or the entire universe will fall off them, because Lord Shiva was the one who handles all the things of the universe. So Kamdev was given the opportunity to wake up Lord Shiva. In that process, when Kamdev was trying to make Lord Shiva away from that deep meditation, Lord Shiva got angered and he opened his third eye. And with the power of the third eye, as Kamdev was standing just in front of it, he was burned to ashes. So the sacrifice of Kamdev is related. Now we also have seen that Kamdev is related in the construction of the temple. So now the second story, related only, all the stories are linked. So when this thing happened after many millennia, you can say, Rati, the wife of Kamdev, went to Ma Parvati. Now Parvati, as we know, is a second wife of Lord Shiva. She went and requested Ma Parvati to bring back her love, her husband, Kamdev. So Parvati took this opportunity that she will give this blessing that he can come back and all, but with a condition. That condition was that once he is alive, he can go to this Nilachal hill and construct a temple for Sati. This is how the temple or Kamdev is related in the construction process. The story goes like this. I hope that is clear how the construction happened, especially the Kamdev thing. Anyone can unmute and say that Kamdev sacrifice and the construction of the temple, how that is related, mythologically is been understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next story that we see is of the story of Narkasur. So this is what the Bengali people can relate with. During Durga Puja also, why we celebrate Durga Puja, how the Asura was killed. So that is the same story that we find here actually. The story of Narkasur is basically, of course, he was an Asur and he has a desire to marry Ma Kamakhya because she was absolutely so beautiful. So he approaches her that he expresses desire actually, and he wanted to marry. So Ma Kamakhya came up with a very clever plan. She agreed to the proposal, but again with a condition. The condition is that Narkasur have to build a temple in one night before the rooster cooks out. So Narkasur accepted the condition and he started building the temple. But Ma Kamakya turned herself into she actually sent a rooster. He turned something into a rooster and it went before the sunrise. Normally, a rooster will crow during the sunrise time. But at that time, just before the sunrise, it started and the temple was incomplete. He couldn't complete, and in this process, he couldn't marry Ma Kamakya. And the place where and later also this Narkasur got caught hold of that rooster and killed it. So the place where it has been cut off or killed, that place also has got a name. Something I don't remember exactly the name, but it is related with the Assamese name of rooster only, Kukura or something. Now, talking about the Nilachal hill itself, it is believed that when the yoni fell into that hill turned blue that we have seen or in our earlier slide. So, but it was also heavy that the hill itself cannot hold off. So there is a belief or there is again a mythological connection or a story along with it that Lord Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they incorporate itself in the hill to share the weight so that the hill don't fall off. So the entire hill that we see, there is a division, which part is of Lord Shiva, which part is Vishnu, which part is Brahma, like that. And the entire hill is said to be actually Ma Kamakya. There is another temple that you are seeing in the right-hand side of the screen, where I mentioned Bhuvaneshwari Temple. Can anyone tell me, anyone have heard about this temple? While we are talking about Kamakhya Temple, why Bhuvaneshwari Temple have jumped into it? Any idea about this temple, anyone? Anyone can unmute and speak up. That are you aware of this temple, or
No,
is
ma'am.
just Kamakhya?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am. No idea.
Okay, thank you. The interesting fact is Bhuvaneshwari is just in the same hill. It is the topmost. When we visit Kamakhya Mandir, just a few kilometers up, the Bhuvaneshwari temple is there. This is the temple entry that you are seeing in the right hand side. And it is said that it is one of the Mahashakti Vidya goddess, like Bhuvaneshwari, that is earth, we say. And she is the one who is actually running the earth or the activities of the earth, that is believed. She is the Shakti actually, and it has been described in many of our scripture. So when you visit Kamakhya, most of the people actually don't visit this temple. It is just, you can see actually from the outside of Kamakhya, the top hill, that part is of Bhuvaneshwari Devi. So next time, whenever you get a chance, please do visit this temple also alongside with Kamakhya. Now, there is also a belief that when Kamdev was building or constructing the temple, Ma Kamakhya temple or the Gufa kind of thing, at that time, he also installed Ma Saraswati and Ma Lakshmi. So you can say all the god and goddess is over there, and it is such an important place, such a spiritual place to be, just to be there. You don't have to do the puja, just to be in that environment is such a spiritual experience. Next, we'll talk about the architectural contexts. Like, as you are seeing in the image, this is again the Assamese style of making temple, but this temple has an influence of so many rulers. So everything we can see in the temple. In the image only, just a minute. These shapes that we have seen somewhat like that in yesterday's temple also, right? So this is the influence of Thai. And also we are seeing here Panch Ratna, like the 5 shrines, 5 towers are there. So it is also the Panch Ratna style. Again, we are seeing here this Chala style because Bengal influence was there. So we can see this part, the Chala style. But this Chala is of a balloon type, you can say, somewhat, because of the area that it is covering. Okay. And it is also known as Nilachal style because of the hill. The entire temple, this is actually the Garbhagriha, the main temple. So it is made up of stone. This part is totally made up of stone. The other part is made up of brick. Talking about the structure, as I said, we see the Panchratna, that is the 5 towers we are seeing. Then we have the Garbhagriha. This part actually is the main Garbhagriha. Then we have Chalanta. Actually, this part is known as Chalanta. Here is people will cook food for God. That food will be preserved here or stored here. Then here we also have the Nat Mandir. This part, the Mandapa, Nat Mandir. North Gate. Then we have the West Gate and the East Gate mainly. And again, this 3 gates here people talk about has got a significance. Like the North Gate is the Dwarpal or the gatekeeper of that, or the structure in front of the gate is of lion. The West Gate has, the West Gate is of lion. North Gate representation is of Shakti. East side we see tiger. That is, the east part is actually the Garbhagriha main entry. Though we are saying this is a Nilachal style, but the main style is the Nagara style. Nilachal or any other style that we talk about comes under the sub-Nagara style only. And as told, this is a balloon kind of chala. So it is polygon style. Now we will be talking about the cultural significance. And here we have a lot to talk actually. So we know that Kamakhya Temple is deep rooted in the Assamese culture, and for the people of Assam, it is a very spiritual temple. It has a very rich history, and all over the world, people know Assam for this temple and why this temple is been worshipped. What is the purpose? Because this is the only temple in the entire world, I believe, that a yoni is been worshipped. So, have you heard about Brahmaputra turning red? Some ma'am was discussing that menstruation thing she knows about the temple. So this is what it is connected with. So every year, Ambabachi Mela, this is a very famous festival actually, happened to be in the month of May and or June, something tentatively like that time. So many sadhus, sannyasis, rishis of or you can say high or spiritual people visit the temple. But the temple is closed for 3 days. It is not open. Though people stay there for a week, for a month during that period, but the temple is closed for the 3 days because there is a belief that the temple, since the structure, because main idol is not there, there is nothing called or worship as a main idol like we seen in other temples. Here only a rock form shape like a yoni is there and nothing else. That is what it is been worshipped or prayed. And in that yoni type of structure, it is a natural spring. Water always keeps on flowing in a very slow, you can say flow, water flow, but it keeps on flowing. We can, if we get into the Garbhagriha, we can see, we can touch, we can sprinkle that water. It is considered as to be an holy water. That's why. And that's it. But during that 3 days where it is believed that Ma is menstruating during that time, the river or that spring turns red. Though I have not seen actually. Now people also say they are not seeing this kind of thing. Maybe that is associated with the historical or the spiritual importance of the temple. And we receive a red cloth when we go to the temple. The molly or the thread we get from temple, instead of getting the entire thread or molly from the temple, we do get a small red cotton or silk cloth so that we can tie in our molly or something like that. So this is one very interesting fact, how Shakti, how feminine energy is worshipped here. Then this temple is also associated with tantric practices and spiritual activity. And that happens more during this Ambavachi time. People say, we see a lot of tantric people over here, but the meaning of tantric is not always bad or negative in our scriptures. It is always related with good work and spirituality. Though in modern thing or modern India or the science, it has turned into a different purpose or thing. But actually, tantric practices or ritual is connected with your spirituality, how high you are in your spiritual path. So that is what I have seen. So at the end, I would also add that this red water theory that we hear from many of the books or the scriptures. And the secondly, as no photography is allowed, as I told, the yoni picture which I have shown is only for reference because actually there is no photo of this kind. Then next, we have Ma Kamakhya to be identified as all Shakti related goddesses. Ma Kali, Durga, all the ferocious type, Tripura Sundari, all those divine energies. With that, I also like to add some of the point. Like Adi Shankaracharya also visited this temple in the 9th century to preach philosophy of Hinduism and Vedanta. And yesterday also we have seen the story of Vashishta Muni, how he came to visit this temple to see Ma Kamakhya, to take her blessings. But again, he was shot off by Narkasur. So these are some of the stories or things that is related to Ma Kamakhya and the temple itself. we have also talked about the symbolism of feminine energy and fertility. So there is also belief that if you visit this temple, your fertility issues or your energy will be pure. And there is also a belief that after you are done with your Char Dham Yatra, the last yatra after Char Dham should be Ma Kamakhya. That is also related with this temple. Here are some of the sculptures that you are seeing in the screen is in the outside body of the temple. And the last one, right hand extreme one, is inside. So with this, I end the topic of Ma Kamakhya, but there is another related story connected with this, that is Mayong. Anyone heard of this Mayong? What is Mayong? Anyone can unmute and say that, have you heard about the word Mayong? Anytime? Yes, no,
No, ma'am.
no. Okay, thank you. See, why I wanted,
Village,
yes, yes,
Assam.
yes, it
Mayur
is.
is a village in Assam.
Yes, yes. It is a village in Assam, very close to Kamakhya, very close to Guwahati. Just, I think, 35 or 40 kilometers away from the main city. So why I brought Mayang when I'm talking about Ma Kamakhya? So the reason is Mayong is known as the place or the village of black magic. And since Ma Kamakhya Temple is believed for the tantric practices and all, people believe that if you are there in Mayong or something, you will be more attracted towards this black magic thing. So these are some of the stories that is related with this black magic village. So one story happened to be, we all are aware that if you are from the history background or not so history background, then also I hope people know about this, how Mughal was defeated by the Ahom rulers. Assam was never under the Mughal rulers. So it happened to be in the century 1337 when a Mughal emperor, namely Muhammad Shah, he sent an army of 1 lakh to this Assam, to conquer Assam actually. And at that time, Assam people or the army of Ahom were not so well equipped with the machines, or you can say with the what things or anything. But they are quite aware of their geographical things, geographical locations and all. So there is a belief that when this 1 lakh army of Mughal reached Assam, suddenly it went to the village of Mayong and vanished. Now, why I'm saying this story is because this is well recorded story in the book of Aurangzeb, Alamgiri Nama, if you're aware of the Aurangzeb book. So it is well recorded there. Who witnessed it? It was his general, Raja Ram Singh of that time, who went with 1 lakh army. He witnessed all this thing. And he died also because he surrendered. There was no other option. He got scared also because of this black magic things and all. So he thought better to surrender. So this is one story related with Assam, a small story, because we were talking about the tantric practices that is over there. So this city or this village now also, if you go to this village, you will find boards outside the people's houses. It's written, if you have to do these, we are offering this kind of thing, you can contact. So such things are there. So with this, I end the IKS session of 5-day FDP program. And thank you all for being for this 5 days. So
Ma'am,
now, yeah,
like I missed yesterday's class, can we get the recorded session, ma'am?
yes, recording, it will be provided, ma'am.
Okay, there in the same WhatsApp group or what?
Yes, in the same WhatsApp group, you will get the recordings.
Okay, thank
The
you.
link of the recordings will be there. You can see the thing. So now we are open for the discussion. If anything is there, any thought or any feedback you want to share, because today is the last day. We just have last 10 minutes to be here.
Thank you, madam, for a very informative session. But I want to know how to make a paper on this temple architecture or that FDP that I have attended.
Okay.
So please give me some suggestion regarding to the paper, how to make a paper on this topic.
Okay. I won't be the right person to say, but still, based on my experiences and all, I can say that whenever you take any temple as your topic, first you have to narrow down the thing, because, and plus you have to choose which type of temple you are looking into. Because in South India, the styles are different. And in
Okay.
South India also, we have a mixed style. Some of the places I visited have got a mixed style, the Vesara style also, along with Dravidian. And in North, of course, Nagara style, but again, there are so many subdivisions in it. So first you have to choose or narrow down your topic. Based on that, then you have to figure out what you want to analyze on that and what it will give to the society. Because when we do research, it is always giving back to the society. So,
Yes, yes.
like one of my colleague, or you can say friend also, he's from the history background, and he is doing the research on the Vijayanagara Empire, Hampi.
Okay.
So he brought into the light how Hampi rulers or the Vijayanagara rulers were well advanced in the technology. Though he is from the history and he is also talking about the temples and all, but he has chosen quite a different line. He is talking about the constructions and all, how the water system have happened, the reserve water reserves and all. So that is a good point. So similarly, when you talk about the any temple, like you have to figure out which direction you want to go. And
Suppose
then
I want to go to the structure,
structure. Okay. If you
different
want
type
to,
of shikara.
as I told that if you want to go to the structure, so you have to divide the structure into layers.
Okay.
Okay. And then you have to find the references, like from when this kind of structures have come into the light or exist in the society. Because different region have got different type of styles and structures. Different rulers have got influence. Like when we were talking about the terracotta of Bengal, we have seen the influence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and the way it has been executed, the Vaishnava religion or the cult, right? Similarly, we have seen other things. So you have to understand the influence of all those things before building or understanding the structure also.
So, madam, which type of the general we search in that type of the shikara and all that?
You have to study, the subject will be of architecture also, sometimes civil engineering also, and of course history is also there.
Okay, actually, I am from the physics background. That's why I want to know about that.
Yeah, and for a co-guide or a co-researcher or from whom you can collect the information, you always have to have some guidance whose background is of this kind, like architect or civil engineer, something like that. It will be more helpful. I can understand because my friend is doing, and we always have a conversation of this kind.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, anyone else?
In one of the earlier sessions, you have given the details about reference documents
Yes,
or
yes, yes, ma'am.
books. Can you
Yes.
share for the remaining things also? Because some of this Assamese and the other terracotta thing,
Mhm.
if you can give some references that for further study and
Yes,
look out, it will be useful.
I'll share with Pradyumna sir, and he can share in the group. I'll give the
Thank you. Thank
list.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Because I do read a lot about South Indian architecture, and
Okay.
I'm attending sessions about that. So I just wanted to be more curious about the comparisons and the variations across them.
Yeah, because Hinduism, jitna dur gaya, that we say now, how far it went, like it has spreaded a different style. Like we all know the largest Hindu temple of Cambodia, right? So, and when I was talking about the Sun Temple also, I missed one thing. There one more Sun Temple. It is in Multan, Pakistan. So, wherever Hindu connections are there, you will find a relation connection in the styles also. So temples are always fascinating and at the same time spiritual, of course, but it always baffles me. I always wonder, like how our ancient people or the architects were so sharp and how accurately and precisely they built or created these things. So that amazed me a lot. When I visited Karnataka, Belur side, this Chanakshara temple and all. So I find the structures, the carvings, the integrate detailing, and it seems that it is a modern technology machines that they have used, but again, there is no such evidence. So who knows? There may be something, and we just lost the connection. Okay. Is there any other doubts or question or any feedbacks? I would love to
Yes,
hear your feedbacks basically.
yes, ma'am. Actually, I want to share something.
Yeah.
So, as a South Indian, I'm also known about Dravidian style and a little about Nagara style. So, after listening your sessions, there are more than Dravidian and Nagara style. So, I got to know about sub styles of Nagara. So, actually, it is very useful. And one more thing I want to share here is, ma'am.
Yes.
So our ancestors, if you see all the temples, all the well-known temples, if you see the background, you can find the scientific reason behind that.
Yes.
Right. So that is, as you said, it's mesmerizing how they did those things. Those are directly connected with astronomy, right?
Yes.
So cosmic, everything they included. So
Yes.
why but they gave this information through Puranas, Vedas, and to make the common people to understand the things. So I think through Purana stories they uh, they spread these news to the common people, right? So when actually I'm teaching IKS, Indian Knowledge System, so when I'm reading the things in detail, it's a question that, for example, if we took Tanjai big temple, so
Mhm.
around 30 meters, there is no granite, any evidence of granite stones.
Yes.
But
Yes.
still, that 80-ton stone, how it came,
To
it
the
went
Shikhara.
to the top.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So it's a big question. So lot many. It's just an example, but there are more than that. Still, we are having that much technology nowadays, but still we can't find. Right. So
Yeah.
it's
That
a
is
question.
absolutely true. Absolutely true. We don't know what we lost actually. And
Yes, ma'am.
of course, the language also. The language also we lost. So we are not able to read out what is written in the manuscript, what is available. That only we are not able to interpret. So that is also a big issue and very challenging thing. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and all.
Good evening, ma'am. Myself, Fatma.
Yes, ma'am.
Here, I want to say one thing. I got lots of knowledge through your session, how to present any topic in a very attractive way. I
Okay.
learn a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's true. Your presentation is very nice, and we learn. I learn how to present any topic in front of anyone. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you. Actually, yesterday also I mentioned that history is a bit boring for many of the people,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I find that if we do something creatively or if we are showing something visually, people will get attracted. They will stay in the session. So because this is again an online session, it's not an offline. It becomes very challenging also to say what I'm trying to deliver actually. So
Hmm.
the images or the presentation is the best way. So I tried a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Now a time as a teacher, I have seen lots of thing in the school. Most of the student didn't pay the attention in the SST classes because
Yes,
they think it is a very boring subject. What is the benefit of learning to it? If
yes.
anyone explain any topic like this, now definitely their interest will increase.
Yes, definitely. And
Yeah.
I coming from design background and all, we do have this history of design and all, where we talk about temple architecture specifically, and we have models and we have workshops on the temple design. We talk about a lot about this. So in this
Yeah.
process only, I started gaining interest on the temple history and of course all the history in short.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, ma'am.
You did mention about